We're all on the same page. So our purpose, and we talked a little bit about this before, we want to make sure that everybody's able to have some meaningful discussion and dialogue. We're going to focus on chapters 7 and 8 to further develop our understanding of those chapters. I am hoping, what I think should happen is we're going to build a deeper awareness around significant cultural, thematic, and character features in preparation for our embedded assessment. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to engage with your classmates and discuss some targeted questions. Okay? All right, so to get us started, I am going to place your academic conversation graphic organizer. Okay? Everybody's going to get one. And please don't start before I ask you to do so. I want to make sure that we are going in the right direction. All right. Just making sure that everybody gets one in the group. Are we good on that? Everybody? Got an extra one. Perfect. All right. So with this, again, as a little quick recap, okay, I'll get the extras, I'll come by for them. The purpose is to engage in meaningful discourse by participating in an academic conversation. Our essential question, what is the value of making connections between characters from different texts, time periods, and cultures? Which is pretty much our essential question for this unit. And then our learning targets continue to be around those literary elements that we have discussed. All right, so directions in preparing for our conversation. There, if you look at the graphic organizer in part 1, if you'll look with me, just look at your document. On the left side, you see guided questions that you are going to prepare some response to. You with me? You're going to prepare some response to, and you're going to jot down the page number so that when you begin talking, you can easily refer back to certain pages and you can call your group members to those same pages. And so in the center column, you are going to jot that response down. Part 2 is going to happen either when you're having the discussion and maybe even after the discussion, where you're kind of tracking what's being said, what you're discussing, and just understand that some of this you may not be able to talk about, you may not be able to jot down all at one time while you're having the conversation. Some of this might span over the course of the evening and bring it back on tomorrow, okay? There is, if you'll flip over on the back, just so that you'll know what's here, there is a reflection that you will do. There are 2 parts to the reflection. One part, you're going to be responding to a content-based question. And then part B is your participation and your reflection. That will kind of let me know and you know what areas you feel confident in and what areas you might need some additional support, okay? That will take place at home. If you need more space for the reflection, feel free to add paper to it. All right. Now, our protocol that we use for all of our conversations in the classroom, can anybody point to where that poster is in the classroom? Where is our poster? The 360 listening. Thank you. 360 listening. So our expectations around this is that we're going to maintain a welcoming posture. Okay, we're open and inviting conversation. We also want to make sure that we're paying attention, we're tracking our speaker, that we're listening. These are things that you already do, but I just want to remind you to make sure that you're doing these things. And then when you have authentic feedback that you can give, please give that as well. Something that I'm going to have us add into our conversation, which I think we're ready for this. One person in each group is going to track our 360 protocol. Yes, we're having discussion around these content-based questions, but I also want to make sure that our protocol is working the way that I think that it is. And then if there are some things that we need to tighten up, I want to make sure that we have some documentation of what actually needs to happen. I'm going to be circulating and jotting down notes, but I need some additional pairs of eyes. All right, so in each group, I've already identified a person who is going to do that for me. And on the document, essentially all you're going to be doing is jotting down anything you see, what you hear, or maybe what you don't see and what you don't hear. And then any input or suggestions that you might have for how we might improve, okay? And you jot these things down as you can. All right. Did I miss any group? Okay. All right. Okay. And here's the last piece that we need in our preparation and planning. You've got your novels on your desk, you've got your annotations already, you got your graphic organizer, and now I'm gonna give you just some additional support for discussion. You're already familiar with the notice and note signpost, but I'm gonna put down a copy just in case you need to refer to it. And there's some academic frames, discussion frames, if we, in fact, if we in fact need some additional language, just to kind of help us get through the conversation. So you will share these as you need them, okay? All right. So at this time, I am going to give you about 10 minutes to start looking at those questions on the left side, those preparatory questions on the left, and you are going to jot down things that come to mind, things that you know, and then I will count us back down so that we can officially start the conversation. Okay? All right, go.
$52 and $53. Well, basically he changes because he becomes more of a man and he gains more responsibility with becoming a basically.
I said actually 53 and 54 because like 54 talks about how like he started like neglecting like women's stories and stuff, showing how like he's done like that type of almost like fairy tale of like his innocence and being a kid and stuff, and like being more introduced to like the adulthood. So
So why don't you all take just a few minutes to kind of go through and get your thoughts down, and then you can have that conversation afterwards. I'm glad that y'all ready to jump into it. That's a good sign. It's a really good sign. And remember, just make brief points, and some of the more in-depth details you can add as you're having the discussion or after. in some really insightful thoughts. That's a very good sign, thank you.